It is time. Go live. We should be live. Let me double check. Says we're live. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to JeepSolid Garage. So we're continuing with our engine build. We've come a long ways. I hope you can see me on camera. Got to switch over to my other view here. There we go. There we go. So this is an engine build we're doing on a Jeep 4-liter engine, inline 6, taking you guys through the whole process, live streaming the whole thing. Only stuff I'm not showing on camera is like cleaning of parts, cleaning the oil and gunk off of it. Like got the oil pan here, got it painted up, cleaned off, all that. Tonight we're going to be doing oil pan gasket, a little bit of RTV here and there on that, put the lifters in. Maybe kind of a short episode tonight because honestly, I'm exhausted. I've been burning the candle at both ends this week. So, and I got a busy weekend ahead of me as well. So some of my regulars are here already. Deluxe Dart, Moab Willing, good evening. Hey guys, we're getting down to the end of this. This is what? I think the title said episode 14. That's crazy. We only have a few more episodes left. And honestly, that makes me kind of sad. I'm like, oh, I got to keep doing this. I enjoy it. This series is sponsored. It's sponsored by Engine Tech. They gave me all the parts and everything I needed for this build. We'll be putting their lifters in. There's the part number, L2011-4. Engine Tech, I've used their stuff on quite a few other builds and I've had good success with it. So thank you, Engine Tech, for sponsoring this. Cam shield. You guys remember our cam shield? Cam shield assembly paste, the high zinc paste. We're going to be using some of that on the lifters. And first thing I want to do is I want to clean off a few spots where I'm going to put some RTV. I had a little rag here. Let me grab my little rag. Oh, I got all my regulars here. Randy Jones is here. Good evening. Robert, hello from Toronto, Canada. I had brake clean. Oh, it's over here. Toronto, Canada. That's cool, but it's still kind of cold up there. Doug is here on his wife's account. That cracks me up. Let's see. Moab and Randy. You got this deal. Jurassic Repairs. Hey, Jurassic Repairs. My friend has a Jurassic Jeep. Randy Jones. Moab. Hey, Deluxe. Hey, everyone. See, we got a nice little community here. I'm going to get just a little brake clean on the rag here. And yeah, you guys can see this. So first thing we're going to do, let's get the oil pan on, and right here at the rear main oil seal, I am going to be putting just a little dab of RTV. You don't need RTV all around your oil pan gasket, but just a few key spots right here where the block, can you guys see what I'm pointing at? Kind of. Where the block meets up with the timing chain cover. You have like little ridge right there. Make sure that's smooth. If there's RTV or any gasket material there, scrape it off. Make sure it's as smooth as you can. But that's where we're going to put a little more RTV once it's nice and smooth, because that's a spot where we'll tend to get a leak. And then back here by the rear main oil seal as well, where the oil pan sits there. The rest of the surface here, just regular oil pan gasket. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun on this series, and to think we've only got a few episodes left. I got to talk to Engine Tech and see what the plan is from here, if they want to continue sponsoring builds, if we're going to do that. If we do the installation of this engine into Sully, the 97 Cherokee together, that'd be kind of cool. That would be a long series, because I'd want to cover doing the whole thing every step of the way. An engine build, I pulled the engine on Kiwi myself I did that on a live stream. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I did a live stream. Let me grab my hot drink here. Love this mug. One of my favorite mugs. Don't drink motor oil though, not good for you. That's a Doc Hudson motor oil cup. But yeah, I did a live stream where I pulled the engine in one evening by myself, and I want to say it took me like 6 hours because I just ran into some trouble with the Disconnecting the transmission from the engine, those, oh gosh, what are those E12, whatever those E bolts are. I think they're E's, aren't they? Those nasty ones. Oh, I saved them. Yeah, they're over here. Good Lord, hate these things. At the top of the transmission. Where are we? There we are. Yeah, hate those things. Why did they put those? We're gonna make all the bolts on the transmission to engine the same, except these top two that are the hardest to get to. We're gonna make them a little different. Oh. Thanks, GM. All right, a little bit of high temperature gasket maker. Had to just get a little crud off there. And just a little bit on these edges right here where our gasket is going to sit, just to help prevent oil leaks. And then a little bit down here where it meets up with the rear main oil seal. I probably got more on there than I need, but oh well, it is what it is. What are you guys up to tonight? Let's see, Jurassic and Jim, wow, a lot of people. Dale, you are the best, following as I do mine 4.2. Nice, that's awesome. Thank you, Wilbur. Sorry, William. 84, CJ. Yeah, I should get an old CJ. Videos on Soli would be great, Dale. Yeah, I'd like to do that. What else we got? Torque suck. Yep, that would be great to see you pull the engine and then putting it in Soli. Yeah, you guys would... I mean, I'd love to have you guys hear this engine's run for the first time. The last two builds I've done, though, that super exciting first start. I need to wipe my RTV finger on something. That first start, oh, I didn't get that satisfying first start. Vroom! The first start was over and over and over. Oh, does it have fuel? Does it have spark? Does it just banging my head against the wall? Turned out my timing was off. I was last couple builds I've done, I'm just off like a tooth or two on the distributor and get the timing. I eventually get it and figure it out, but every time. Got my gasket. This is from Engine Tech as well. They have this whole kit. They've got a whole seal kit here. Oh, fire seal. Engine Tech technology. And those, you get a seal kit for your whatever engine you're building, and it basically has every gasket and seal in it that you need. So here's our new oil pan gasket. It is a lot easier to do this with the engine upside down like this. So let's lay this in place. Watch this be the wrong size gasket. Well, guys, that's it for tonight. Lay the gasket on there just like so. Getting this part. Oh shoot, I forgot to. I was gonna start my GoPro. Yeah, I know. It's beeping at me here. Don't turn off. Turn back on. There we go. I'm thinking about making, I've mentioned in the past, a time lapse of this build, which I thought might be kind of cool to see. So I got my GoPro that as I've been doing this build, I've just been running the GoPro just in the background for the build. I thought it might be kind of fun to see. So now I need to fake putting the gasket back on again for the GoPro, because this is like a big step, right? Okay, let's see. Gasket's in place. You guys got to see that twice. Oh, what I was going to mention, yeah, I moved my camera. When you're doing this upside down, this is the part, like sometimes I'll have trouble getting this lined up just straight when it's right side up. Doing it upside down is better. And on the back side here, getting this goes right in the groove of your rear main cap. Sorry if it's swiveling you guys around too much. So see, upside down, it just sits in there so nicely. Isn't that great? Let's see, Jim Young, did you paint the oil pan and clear coat it? A special paint? No, it looks super shiny, doesn't it? I just used the RTV I used was a high temperature RTV. The paint on this that I used, I always get nervous when I do this. Like, am I missing something? Did I forget to put the oil pump in? The camshafts in? Lifters we're going to do from the top side? I mean, yeah, the bottom side's done. We can cover it up. What was I saying? Oh, the paint on this. No, it's just a high temperature. It didn't need to be high temperature, but I used a high temperature semi-gloss. So it's got a little bit of shine to it. All right, these back bolts, where are you guys at? Let's bring you over a little bit. Don't know if you'll be able to see. These two guys are a little larger. Yeah, you can kind of see. But yeah, the oil pan turned out pretty good. I just scrubbed it down with a Scotch-Brite pad and hosed it off, dried it off real good, and then hit it with a rattle can. Yeah, it looks super shiny. So those are the two big bolts. What are they? They're like 7, no, they're 1/2 inch. Where's my other two big bolts? These two. These two larger bolts. The oil pan has 4 larger bolts on it, which I believe these get torqued to 132 inch-pounds. And then the billion little guys, these guys get torqued to 84. Yeah, 84 foot-pounds. I mean, I'll go through and I don't know, I mean, I guess we can torque these a lot of times on oil pans. I'll just trust my torquing judgment by hand. If it starts leaking, I'll torque it a little bit more. Let's see, who else we got here? Did you paint? Good. Let's say I found a 99 XJ cheap with a 4-liter as a donor. Oh, wow, awesome. That's actually how I ended up 1 engine ahead. Like, that's how I have this spare engine. I ended up with a donor engine from a Jeep that I bought. A guy, I don't know, he had an extra engine. He was going to do something with it. And when I bought that Jeep off of him, I ended up with an extra engine. So I'm always 1 engine ahead, which is super nice if you want to be doing builds. Anyways, but I was able to get the XJ started up, and the engine seems to run really good. So I'm thinking about just swapping in the 4-liter. What? You got 99 XJ with a 4-liter as a oh, what does the XJ have in it? Does the XJ not have a 4-liter in it? I was able to get the XJ started up, and the engine seems to run really good, so I'm thinking about just swapping in the 4.0. Does it not have a 4.0 in it now? What year is it? 99? Yeah, it should have a 4-liter. Does that have a 2.5 in it? I don't know. Need more information. If you're still there, Jeremy, swapping into my CJ. Oh, okay. And what does the CJ have in it? Let's see, this is probably, oh no, this is, not sure I'm gonna like that. I need to undo this. Yeah, what is this guy? This is like a 7/16, but I gotta get this little bracket off of here. 7/16, but also it's a 9/16. I'm going the wrong way. 11 millimeter fit this guy really well, but I don't know if my deep set 11 millimeters missing. I'm gonna find that somewhere. Oh, you know what? I've got another socket set. I have a whole nother socket set, and that would have a deep set 11 millimeter on it. Let's see. Is that what it has? A 4.2? That's out of the CJ. Let's see. Always nice when you buy a vehicle and comes with a spare engine. Yep. It's not for everybody, but for us, guys like us, it's great. Oh yeah, an extra engine, awesome. You bring it home, the wife is, what? What are you gonna do with that? Is that just gonna sit in the garage? My wife doesn't do that. Actually, my wife has actually been super supportive. She's like, she trusts my judgment, makes me happy. We're doing well. She's like, okay. My first Jeep, yeah, it was my very first Jeep. It was like Christmas Eve. It was like 2 days before Christmas, and I don't know, I'd been kind of in the market for a Jeep for quite a while. I'd wanted one forever. And then Christmas Eve, I found my 94 YJ, found it online somewhere, and messaged the guy like, hey, would you, and it was like right before Christmas, and I don't know if the guy needed the money or what, but I made an offer. I was like, hey, would you take this for it? It's like $4,000 or something. And he responded back like, okay. And I didn't like, I don't know, I guess I didn't expect him just to be like, okay. So I told my wife, I was like, honey, I think I just bought a Jeep. She's like, what? So yeah, Christmas Eve, I went and picked it up, turned it into my very first Jeep, and it was awesome. It's been a great vehicle. It's the one I put my stroker into. Oh gosh, I should take these gloves off now. I hate wearing gloves like that because your hands get sweaty. And start tightening these down, get them all finger tight, and we'll go through and start kind of torquing them down. Let's see. But with carburation, challenge will be the fuel injection. Yeah. But since I got the whole vehicle, I got the extra stuff, intake, manifold, etc., etc. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's possible, yeah. Who wouldn't? Most trustworthy guy on YouTube. So after oil pan here, we'll flip this over and drop our lifters in. It's one of my favorite parts, lifters for some reason. Oil pan, it's just an oil pan. The lifters, they've got oil, like they come from the factory just dripping oil. I'll show you guys. There is a theory, some people like to soak their lifters, which I've never done. And from what I've read, I mean, obviously it doesn't hurt anything, but what I've read it's not really necessary, especially if you're going to be priming the engine by hand with oil like we will be doing before we start the engine. So the way that works, we'll pull the distributor. We'll have the engine all installed, everything like 100% ready to go. We'll pull the distributor out and then reach a real long flat blade down in the distributor spot, because the distributor is what drives the oil pump, the bottom of the distributor. And we'll run a real long flat blade down there on a drill at low speed and just turn the oil pump over quite a few times to pump oil through all the oil galleries, right? It's not a galley. Just to get oil primed through the whole system before first startup. Because I do that, I don't worry about soaking the lifters in oil, because they're going to have oil literally pumped through them. And the other thing, we're going to use a good break-in oil. So a high zinc, low detergent. You don't want the detergents that they put in modern engine oils. You don't want those in your break-in oil. Have to use special oil. All right, these guys go to 84, and it's inch pounds. So that's like 84 right there. Yep, 84. Yeah, I should probably double check these though. And then these guys are 100, no wait. The big ones are 84 or 132. Those yeah, 132 on this big. Little guys, these are the 84s, yeah. So those other ones, I didn't do them to 84, I did them to 132. We'll go back and double check. Depending on the part that I'm doing, I'll torque it. Oil pan, not super worried about it. Bearing cap, worried about it. Flywheel, yeah. What I should do is I should have my daughter help with the engine pull. She'd love that. I don't know how busy her Friday nights are though. Probably a lot busier than mine. 84, 84, 84. We'll flip this over in just a second here and continue on with the lifters. But just to do this right, I will just make sure they're at least 84. I think I'm getting them snug. Just snug. Nothing crazy. My little guy here. And we'll just run through this real quick so it won't take long. Then I'll know for sure that we're good. Okay, so this was, let's go up to 132. Let's see, 120, 132. 132 inch-pounds. We'll do these big guys first. Oh no, they were not. It was not even close on that. Good thing we're double checking, huh? But I would have come back. And why is it leaking? Tighten the oil pan up a little bit. My feeler was quite a bit on that. All right, now let's back it off to 84. So let's come down to, where's 80? Let's see, that's 84. Somewhere right around there. And the little guys. What are you guys up to this evening? Let's see, oops. Oh. Let's see, any tricks getting the oil pan gasket while the engine is in Jeep? Watched your video on doing it. Oh, yeah, it's a pain. One trick is getting some, like 4 new bolts and cutting the head off of them and make them a little bit longer than they need to be. And then put them in as, and then you cut a little groove in them, like a little flathead, and then use them as like dowel, like guide pins. Like put one here, one here, one here, one here, just like 4 of them. Then you set your pan in place on your pan here, lift it up, and then those bolts can act like guides and kind of help hold your gasket in place. Because, yeah, it's very difficult to flip the Jeep upside down. But it is a lot easier to do with the engine upside down, I'll tell you that. I was closer on these guys. Can't do that. We're almost there. It's just a lot of bolts on the oil pan. At least I didn't have these over torqued. I think that's pretty good. Alrighty, let's flip it over and we'll get started on the lifters. There we go. Let's see, zinc helps protect the metal on metal contacts from premium wear. Most modern engine oil doesn't have it anymore. Really important on assembly. Yeah, especially on these flat tapped cams. So the flat tapped cams, they don't have a roller on them at all. It's just metal on metal sliding, and it helps what is it, season the metal properly, like you season a pan for cooking kind of thing. All right. I don't really need this anymore. Here's our first set of lifters, but I'm just going to get them all out here because we're just going to bust through them. So, you guys see that? Yeah. So yeah, they're bathed in oil already, but the tops here, we're going to put a little extra zinc lubricant on the tops here. Ugh. Just trying to slide this guy down because we're going to put all 12 of them here. Let's see, on the 4 liter, the cam position. Sorry if I miss comments. You guys know if you're new here and you don't know, I'm working, obviously. If I miss your comment, I'm sorry. I try to come back to a lot of them, but I don't always see them all. Sometimes I miss them. Let's see, but somebody said on the 4 liter, the cam position sensor uses the same hole as the distributor used on previous generations, right side of the block between the cylinder 3 and 4. The cam position sensor. Yeah, depending on the model, mine has it. The cam position sensor is actually inside the distributor. But I think my other, is it on this 97 that it's on the side? Let's see, Doug said I used the ones that came with the Felpro gasket. I could not see if both ends were in a groove like Dale talked about. Well, if it's not and you're leaking, pull your pan back off and take a look at it. But yeah, there's a groove that it sets down in on the rear main cap there and on the timing cover there. So all of our lifters here. Yeah, look at how nice that looks. A little bit extra cam shield. Good stuff. We saved this doing putting our camshaft in. And we're just gonna get a little bit on each one. See, this thing has plenty. So yeah, this is a high zinc cam shield. And yeah, like somebody said, the modern oils don't have zinc in them. Alrighty, I gotta get my hands cleaned off here. I used the one that came with the Felpro gasket, blah, blah, blah. Read that one already. Sorry, Doug, didn't mean to blah, blah, blah you, but I read your comment. 18 concurrent viewers. All right, let me grab my magnet. Use my bigger one, which is clean. Just gonna make sure I don't know what I used it for last. Looks pretty clean. I don't know if you guys are really gonna be able to see. Move my GoPro. And then I'm going to bring you guys, I'm going to try to get you guys a view of what we're doing here a little bit. Whoa! That's good. You probably, you're going to be right in my way. That's all right. We're working together. Let's see what this does. You kind of can see. Yeah. It's like we can almost see. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm going to take my lifter and let's see. I'm going to use this one to fish. So I want this hand kind of cleanish. I'll use this as my zinc hand. Smear it around on the, oh, actually, I know what I do. Start with it like that. Dummy. Smear it around on there. But we've got zinc down on our camshaft already. And for some reason, this reminds me of fishing. Much more so when I'm pulling them out than putting them in. Boy, you guys are just right in my way. I'm not gonna... It's probably a weird look. I can't hardly see what I'm doing because you guys are honestly in my way. Alright, I gotta move you guys a little bit. I gotta get to some of these. Lifters going in. I have not yet ordered from them. Went to Engine Tech website and couldn't order from them without a corporate account. Anyone else have that problem? Yeah, I don't know. You might have to order them from like another website. Like, I mean, even off of Amazon. They're like some of their stuff's on Amazon, for example. Oops. Oops. But I don't know if they will sell directly from their website, retail. There we go. Lifter's going in. Maybe if I turn you guys a little bit. There we go. Sorry, yeah, it's really hard to film this and show you guys. I want to turn this around the other way because I got my GoPro on the other side and that light is just right in the way. But this is one of the fun parts for me, putting the lifters in. There we go. So after this, next week we'll do, it'll be time for the head gasket. We'll put the head on, and then that should be pretty quick. Well, pretty quick. I mean, I guess that might be an episode. Then the final episode will be valve train. I don't know if you guys can see this that well. Kinda. So that means like 2 more episodes maybe of the actual engine build. And then yeah, when I say I gotta contact Engine Tech, because yeah, they wanted to sponsor this build. But when this build is done, the camera's in the way. When the build is done, I don't know if they want to necessarily sponsor like the pulling the engine out of the XJ and all that. So I just got to figure out what we're doing there. If they want to, awesome. I will plug their product and be sure to feature them. So yeah, I've been real happy. They've taken real good care of me. few more Moab. I've learned a lot on my first rebuild, still in progress, but I have everything I need now. Yeah, gosh, I learned so much. Yeah, after I built my first engine, it was kind of a cool feeling to be able to look at like an engine block or something, like a 4-liter block, and be able to tell you, like, I can tell you what every single one of those holes is and bolt holes and what goes where, like, you know, just on the side of the, like, yeah, that's where this bolt's on, that's where the camshaft goes, that's where the what am I trying to think, the timing chain and the cam sprocket and distributor goes there, and the alternator bolts on there, and yeah, it's just, that was kind of cool. That's the spot for the engine mounts. And the last lifter. Boom, lifters are in. So now I cannot turn this engine upside down. I don't want to wipe these off. I want to get a paper towel, because this stuff is gooey. And I don't want to just totally destroy my shop rag. Let's see, I'm going to catch up on this here. Yes, was able to get lifters on Amazon from Engine Tech. Yeah, I've learned a lot. I appreciate your info. Ordered the tire rebuild kit. Oh, awesome. Cool, so it came with everything you need. I'm going to be buying parts here and there for my 4.6. Awesome, that's exactly what I did. My Jeep Kiwi 4.6 stroker. That would have been better. Well, yeah, better in some sense. Stroker is definitely fun. You definitely feel the extra power. So that's kind of cool. But with the 4-liter engine, I mean, the 4 liters are pretty darn good themselves. I could have just thrown these gloves away, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing here. This one has a hole in it anyways. So another thing I do is I reuse my gloves a lot too. But the stroker is more of a fun build and kind of exciting, but not really necessary. But it's all right. I guess driving a Jeep is not really necessary. If I want to be economical, I picked the wrong line of vehicle. Hey, welcome to Prius Solid. I'm Dale. But I don't think Prius guys are working on their engines. Well, maybe there's some. But I bet it is significantly less. I needed pistons too. Mine were in great shape. Well, that's awesome. I got everything I wanted to accomplish in. I did mention this was going to be a quicker episode, so because I gotta wrap it up. Like I said, I've been burning the candle both ends. I'm pretty tired. Been very, very busy this whole week, working hours and hours and hours and hours, and I got to work this weekend. So I'm going to cover the engine back up here. Let me get my cover back on it. Boy, it all looks so good. Love how everything's coming together. So if you guys got any last minute things, speak now, or we're about done. And there's a delay of about 30 seconds on my feed, so I'll give a minute here. Boom. That's awesome. Whole engine build together. Oops, there we go. Turn this guy off. Move this tripod out of the way so I don't kick it over. Not that I have done that in the past and had to actually buy a new camera lens because I destroyed one of my cameras by kicking the tripod over. Get this out of the way a little bit. Let's see. I need a pistons too. Mine were in great shape. Piston number 2 broke in the skirt. Oh, forced rebuild, but I took the challenge. Oh, awesome. Is the skirt okay? I wonder if it was damaged. Or not the skirt. The cylinder. Is the cylinder okay? Thanks, Dale. Coming together really nice. See you next week. Going to be practicing and familiarizing with the 2.5 rebuild to prep to rebuild the 4.0. Your videos are so much appreciated. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. I don't think the 2.5 and the 4 liter are that much different. I think just the 2.5, gosh, that'd be just a lot quicker. If I only had to do like 4 pistons and only 8 valves, 8 lifters, like everything's a third. It'd be so much faster. That'd be cool. But once you got it running, it wouldn't be faster. It would be the opposite of faster, especially going uphill. But my 4.6 stroker, oh, my manual transmission, I love turning along in that thing. It's definitely got the power, and I love to come up next to a car that's not expecting an old YJ to have power and a pretty good start off of the line. It's fun. Shutting down the shop. All this stuff, I'm going to leave it and clean it up later because I'm going to be getting ready for bed. Our TV is closed up. We're turning the lights off. I think that's it. Cool. All right, guys. You have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Unless something comes up and I can't for some reason, which has happened in the past. But I think I should be able to next week, next weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be around. All right, guys. Good night. Oh, wait. I guess I should actually turn the live stream feed off. I wonder if I just left this on all night. And then I'm leaving for work tomorrow morning and you guys are still here. Oh, there he is. He's going to work. I cracked myself up. All right, for real. Good night, you guys.